Hello and welcome to the 18 WJTS News for Friday, September 29th, 2023. Thank you so much for tuning in with us this evening. I'm Kaitlyn Neukam reporting. A double fatality accident in Daviess County claimed the lives of two Washington residents. At approximately 1:40 Thursday yesterday, Daviess County Central Dispatch received a call of a two-vehicle head-on collision on US 50 in McCracken's Curve west of Montgomery. The initial investigation shows a 2016 Hyundai Elantra was traveling westbound on US 50 and for an unknown reason went left of center and struck a 2018 Chevy Silverado head-on. The driver of the Hyundai was identified as 20-year-old Allison Potts of Washington. The front seat passenger in that car was also identified as 23-year-old Braden Baker of Washington. Both Allison Potts and Braden Baker were pronounced deceased at the scene. The driver of the Chevy Silverado was identified as 68-year-old James Clark of Washington, and he was flown to the Deaconess Midtown Hospital for severe injuries. The Daviess County Sheriff's Office is the investigating agency in this case, and the Indiana State Police are reconstructing the accident. At the request of the Harrison County Sheriff, the Indiana State Police are investigating after a southern Indiana man died after being handcuffed early Thursday morning. Around 3 a.m. on Thursday, officers from the Harrison County Sheriff's Department responded to a residence on Fay Drive in Cordon after the homeowner called 911 reporting that 43-year-old Jesse Frank Harris was on their back patio acting strangely. The homeowner also advised that although Harris had recently resided at the house, he was no longer allowed on the property. Once officers arrived on scene, they reportedly observed Jesse Harris acting erratic and strangely. Officers attempted to secure Harris for safety concerns by placing him in handcuffs. As officers placed Harris in handcuffs, he appeared to have a medical event and collapsed. Emergency medical personnel were immediately called and rushed Jesse Harris to the Harrison County Hospital. Jesse Harris was pronounced dead shortly after he arrived at the hospital. An autopsy was performed Thursday morning at the Harrison County Hospital. However, doctors observed no apparent physical cause of death. Although toxicology results in this investigation are still pending, investigators believe drugs may be a factor in this case. This case is still under investigation as ISP detectives continue to conduct interviews and review video recordings of this event. A pilot and his flight student were killed after their aircraft crashed in Ohio County, Kentucky. The victims involved in a deadly plane crash have been identified as Timothy McKellar Jr. and Connor Quisenberry. The plane crash was at around 11 p.m. on Wednesday night during a storm, and they were located at around 9 a.m. on Thursday morning in rural Kentucky. The 22-year-old pilot and 18-year-old flight student were a part of the Eagle Flight Academy out of Owensboro and believed to be completing night flight hours. According to the Kentucky State Police, the plane crash was located by a drone in Ohio County between Owensboro and Bowling Green. Crews were able to get an ATV to confirm that the debris field was roughly half a mile from the center of the crash, where they located various parts of the plane. Once the crews were inside the debris field, they did locate the two bodies. A FlightAware radar shows they were traveling from Bowling Green when a severe storm hit. Storm warnings were issued for the Whitesville area and hail followed. Authorities say it was an emergency beacon that prompted the Evansville Regional Airport to alert Daviess County Dispatch. The left wing of the missing plane, along with some mechanical parts, were found across a half-a-mile debris field. Detectives from the Indiana State Police, Jasper, and Bloomington districts initiated late Thursday evening an investigation into a police officer actions shooting involving 3 officers from the Bedford Police Department. The incident started Thursday evening when a female subject arrived at the Bedford Police Department wishing to file a harassment complaint and report she was followed by a male subject, later identified as Damon Hubbard, 47 of Bedford, to the police department in a gray Chevrolet Trax. At approximately 10 o'clock p.m., a Bedford officer believed he observed the vehicle. Bedford officers followed the vehicle and a vehicle pursuit was initiated. The Chevy Trax struck a patrol vehicle during the pursuit. When Hubbard stopped, the incident escalated and 3 Bedford Police Department officers discharged their weapons. At approximately 10:37 p.m., officers requested an ambulance and Hubbard was transported to IU Health Bedford Hospital, where he succumbed to his gunshot wounds. The incident involving the Bedford police officers was captured on body cameras. Investigators from the Bloomington and Jasper districts, as well as crime scene investigators from both districts, responded to the scene. No uninvolved citizens or officers were injured during this incident. Bedford Police Department Chief Terry Moore advised the 3 officers would be placed on administrative leave. The information in this release is preliminary as the matter remains under investigation and detectives are working closely with the prosecutor's office. Chandler police responded to shots fired in the area of Cherokee Street and Navajo Trace Wednesday night. Police say that a fight led to a gun being fired. Police surrounded a home in Chandler where they believe a suspect was hiding out. The suspect was found Thursday afternoon just outside of Chandler. Police say he was found with a self-inflicted gunshot wound, which officers believe may have been a suicide attempt. According to Chandler PD, the man crawled out onto the Center Right Road outside of Chandler, and a woman pulled over to help him. Officials say he is in the hospital and will not be releasing names at this time. Charges have been sent to the prosecutor for review for criminal recklessness with a deadly weapon. There is a possibility for additional charges. An accident involving a dump truck took place in Perry County at approximately 1:30 p.m. on Thursday. The Perry County Sheriff's Office Facebook page made a post stating deputies along with the Perry County EMA were on scene of an accident on French Ridge Road near Apricot Road. The post claimed the vehicle involved was a triaxle dump truck loaded with rock, and the driver was able to get out of the vehicle and was transported to the hospital by Perry County EMS with minor injuries. In an update to a story we brought you last month, 44-year-old Christy Morte will now avoid jail time in exchange for a probation sentence of 2.5 years. Morte was charged with cruelty to animals after being accused of abusing animals at her dog grooming business, which was located in Petersburg. The accusations include activities such as strangling dogs and even beating them with clippers at her Doggy Styles pet grooming business. She would later admit to even using nooses to secure canines in a bathing table. Court documents last month revealed that Morte had warrants in Texas as well as criminal arrests in the state of California and had even used the alias Carrie Russell at the time. This probationary plea agreement lists that Christy Morte is not permitted to operate nor work in any business that is involved with the care of handling of animals, nor is she allowed to be in the possession of animals or attempt care for animals during this 2.5-year probation period. That has been a look at your news here on 18 WJTS. We'll be right back with your weather forecast.